I need everyone in the chat to clap. I want to see those claps. What a fantastic game. Hydrate. I got you. What a fantastic freaking game. Oh my gosh. Well made. You know, I avoided playing Mass Effect for the longest time. I, for whatever reason, was scared of just old stuff. I was scared of all this old stuff, and now... Where is this music in the game? Am I allowed to listen to this music? Resume stretch. Hold on. The game's great. There's side missions, a lot of side missions, and the planets to explore are pretty cool. Mako controls are garbage, but they fix them up in the Legendary Edition. You can you can explore the world and you can gather resources. There are things to do if you want to be a completionist and you want to run around. And there's a lot of lore in the game, kind of like Glimmers in Destiny. In my opinion, the game is good. Like you can play it. What is this? This game's 10 years old. 15 years old, 10, something like that. It still holds up. It still holds up really well. There's a lot you can do. You feel good. I played this game on hard mode. I like playing my games on hard mode, and there was no meta way of playing the game. I could still have fun playing the game and have be challenged a bit, and still on the last part of the game, last mission, still die to trash mobs and things like that, or elite mobs, or however you want to say it. If you were hesitant whether you wanted to play this game or not, or you wanted to get back into the Mass Effect series, I wholeheartedly say so. I think that if you can play through Mass Effect 1, you're only going to have a good time playing through the other two games as well, because they do just get better and better as it goes on, peaking at Mass Effect 2 and kind of dipping back down to Mass Effect 3, but that's okay. As a first-time experience playing this game, the downsides, I will have to say, is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely just horrible. There are a lot of times where music's not even playing, especially when you're going to Desolate Lands. I just played my own music to satisfy that. It takes you out of the immersion of the game. The next thing is the story, for the most part, is really good. There's a lot of character tropes, though. You do feel like that the writing and stuff like this was written during a certain time. Characters, NPCs, and things like that seem to be very one-dimensional in that sense. And the one, so much so that I just made a joke about it, saying how everyone's just racist in this game, and that's why they don't like each other. You would think that advanced civilization like this could grow past their racism and stuff like that, but it's weird. It is a way of looking at things, though, and you're peering through the world, through the characters that you pick up and interact with, which is really cool. I think there needs to be more side missions for each character, or they need to be more in depth. The side missions seem to be very simplistic. Even the DLC was very simplistic. So side missions are not the strongest suit in this game compared to how the future installments are going to be in. So the first time playing this, though, if you think, oh wow, the side missions, they're not going to immerse you as much as Witcher 3 is going to, or even as much as like Witcher 2 would, but they're good. They get you upgrades and things like that. There's some things where I didn't know that I'm glad I know now because I have chat here to help me out with some of this stuff. So the game is intricate enough to where you do have to figure out the systems and learn about the systems to where you can get a certain playthrough, which makes it feel kind of meta at some point. Whenever you're trying to build your team, you kind of want that person that can use electronics and things like that, and then it fills up that spot automatically because you're needing to use electronics, or you can make yourself an engineer for those kinds of things. Which the game leans towards that a lot. If you want to pick up that kind of stuff, if you want to be able to just have all the money in the world and have all the guns that you need, you want to pick up that electronics. That's the only meta thing I found out about the game. Other than that, you can upgrade all the guns, use whatever gun you want, and they work. I went through the whole game through a pistol, so the game allows you to be creative and flexible with what you want to do. because of that, because all that is said, and the game is dated, I will say that this game is worth your time. It is a recommendation on my part, and it is without really sitting back and thinking about everything and just going off the top of my head and just fresh off of just like really cool cutscenes and all this other cool stuff. I would say that the game is probably honestly, man, I want to give it a 9. I'm going to say like 8.5. I want to give it a 9 out of 10. I really want to give it a 9 out of 10. But I feel like that the Mako controls, which are... okay, so if we're talking about the updated game, the game being updated, this is the updated Legendary version. I'd say the updated Legendary version is worthy of a 9 out of 10. The things that are... the drawbacks is the sounds, the music in the game. They do hold it back quite a bit. Taking an immersion out, it is really bad. The next thing is the world, the writing can be again one-dimensional for a game that solely is very heavily about RPG and role playing and that kind of stuff. They make the characters very one-dimensional, and there were decisions that felt really good and felt like they had a lot of impact, but I really didn't feel them except for 2 moments in the game or 3 moments in the game. The one where you're the second to last mission and then the very last mission, right? Like I didn't really feel those decisions, but when those decisions happened, I was freaking out, right? Like I was like, what do I do? And then the story is fantastic. I think the story itself is great. The side missions, they have stories, but they're kind of done in quick. So, it's not enough to hurt it that bad though. With what it is, I'm still gonna say like 8. Like I'm pulling back. I want to say 9 though, but it's a heavy recommendation. Go play the game if you haven't played it yet. It's great. Now I'm going to stretch because it's you asked me to.